Ooh, that was kind of nice.
Welcome everyone, this is Dom, and this is another episode of Kerbal Realism. It's a very, very dark time on the surface of Minmus. I know last episode we had to cut the episode a little bit short for the landing, but it was basically the exact same landing we had done before. I do apologize, I had an issue with my computers. So, we are on the surface of Minmus with Goozly. I actually deactivated his antenna. Now, the reason why I had to do this is because he was running out of electricity much faster than he should have been. So we'll just activate it if we need to send something out signal-wise. But we only have 442 meters per second of delta V. Yes, that should be enough to get us into orbit. No, I don't know if we'll be able to get to the same orbit as the lander. So we might have to jump to the the service module. So we might have to jump to the service module and dock with the lander if we run out of fuel. So we have landed on one of our sites, and I know that it's dark. I do apologize. Hopefully I can turn his lights on. I thought they had lights on there. There we go. Cool. Yes, let's go ahead and take a look at our ship here. Bloop. There it is. Cool. So we are on the surface with Goozly, and we are trying to complete these few missions, which is a surface sample, EVA report, surface sample. And then we will try to head out and reach this point here. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing it with the surface module and, you know, being above it. It's basically you need to just fly above and do a crew report. But once all of these missions are done, we'll be heading home, and that hopefully we'll be heading home this episode. So we need to take a surface sample. 135. Oop, I didn't see what that was. Let's review sample. The lowlands. I think we already have a lowlands in the capsule, but we'll have to see. Plant flag. So I think the lowlands is right there. Yes, it is. So we already have taken a surface sample from the lowlands again. Lowlands. Goozly. I think that's his name. Yes, it is. Cool. So this is the our flag for that, but he just needed to put one down so he can get the experience mostly. What we really want to do is now do the rest of these. So we need to do a navigation. Actually, that doesn't help us one bit because he can't get the little ball, the nav ball. So I need to somehow position the camera so that I go in that direction. I have no idea. Okay, so basically we need to go northwest from where we are. I don't know where that is. Yep, I'm just gonna fly. So let's just try that. There we go. And we are back, and we are at our designated point. Let's take a look. This point right here, the Kraken Dome Alpha, I think. The little message came up a few seconds ago. And I think we just need to do an EVA report. Yep, and we're good there. So we'll just recycle that one because there's no point to have it since there's no science value of it. And then we got to move over to the next one, I think. We'll see. Yeah, takes a while. Darn it. So there's that. We need to go that way, generally. Yay. Awesome. Now we are at the second point. Oh, wrong way. Turn around. Why don't you go that way? Yeah, that way. There we go. And we are approximately 3.5 kilometers away from our module here. So we'll take our surface sample. Yes. And it's still lowland, so there's not really a point to worry about bringing that one home in one piece because we already have one on board. And then we gotta go that way approximately. So almost exactly where I'm facing. Awesome. Oops. A little bit that way. So next one. And welcome back to the last point here. We are approximately 5.25 kilometers away now from our vessel. We only have about a quarter of our monopropellant left. So I'm getting a little bit iffy about whether or not we're going to be able to make it just on the monopropellant. I have a feeling I'm going to have to walk. I did actually walk a little bit of this journey just to make sure that I would have enough to get close to the service module. So let's go ahead and take our surface sample again. Boop, boop. We'll keep that one again. Awesome. And that means we are officially done with all of the points up here. All we need to do is get that one right there, and then fix our orbit so that this guy can pick us up, or the other way around. We'll pick up the service module, or we'll get with the service module, and then get this last point with it. So we're going to jump back to the lander here, and I guess I'll see you then. Jump! And we are there. Look at that. 0.02 left. That's nice. And we brought a ladder this time, so we don't have to knock the rocket over to get back inside. That was ridiculous last time. Actually, while we're here, I think I've already done the science from this area, so don't know if there's a point. So let's jump back inside. Oh no. Okay, crap. That's not what I needed to do. F. Board. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so now what we need to do is get ourselves and go that way. So what I'm going to do is just burn straight up, and then we will figure out which direction we need to start turning. Here we go. Oh, I have to get my flight stick out of its tucked away location. There we go. Let's turn on our SAS. Let's go ahead and take off slightly. There we go. Now we need to slightly turn towards... Actually, I'm going to set this as a marker. And then we'll figure out where that is with respect to us. Let me get my controls set up here. Bloop. Okay. It's that direction. That means we need to burn that way, I think. Yes, the sun's on us that way. Yep, I think that's the right way for us to be burning now. We will see. That is completely wrong. Oh man, we are not going to survive this. Just have a feeling. There we go, that should be better. Which means we need to be there. And good. That's just about perfect. Okay. From this point, we're going to need to bring up our periaps slightly, and I want to figure out exactly how much I'm using on this. So that's just about good. And then we will have to do a couple of corrections in between. Yeah. Okay, and we did a couple orbits, and once we do a little teeny burn here, we should be able to catch up with him at this point here, so we'll only be a couple kilometers apart. And then we'll do a parking orbit, or parking exchange there. We have 40 some odd seconds left, and this time I should try not to blow by it. 3, 2, 1. Oops, see? A little bit too far there. These are extremely touchy. I mean, because of how powerful these engines are, it's extremely touchy. There we go, that's a little bit better. And then we will park ourselves next to it. Okay, now that we're on this side of the orbit here, I'm going to go ahead and position myself retrograde with respect to the target. Make sure your gimbal ball says target. And then we will just burn until they equal each other. So our speed relative to each other is 0. Basically what we're doing is parking right next to him. Okay, now that we're back at the point here, where they are closest together, I'm going to jump out of the map view, first of all. And second of all, we are going to just burn so that we are moving relative to each other. So we should be able to see it. There it is. We should hopefully be not moving relative to each other. Very, very soon. These engines are quite powerful right now, by comparison to the weight here. So we're going to do our final adjustments with the lunar module, or sorry, the service module here. So we will approach and such from the service module. So let's switch over to that. With that button, there it is. And we will target him. And we will try to move ourselves to the target. First thing we're going to do actually is use our engine, because might as well. We have an engine on here, and we have a bunch of fuel, much more than we will need. Okay, we're here. What we're going to do is basically park ourselves again. This time we're going to do it in a slightly different way. I'm going to try to align myself before I finish the park. There we go, that's relatively nicer. We are going to set that as our target, and we are going to control from the front node so that all of our movements are relative to that. Now what we need to do is get ourselves lined up best we can with it. That's just about good. Probably about there. And then we shall try to get closer. So let's switch ourselves to docking. Turn our RCS on. Let's go ahead and spin ourselves slightly, so that my movements are a little bit easier for me to see on the screen we're looking at here. And right next to it now, we just need to push forward. And hopefully we got it. We did. Sweet. Awesome. Good job, Goozly. Now, we have a little teeny bit of fuel in there we don't really need to use anymore. What we're going to actually do is take Goozly out, so we'll transfer him over. Let's do a transfer over to here. And then what we can do is... Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to transfer him back. I want to get the science. Oh, there's no point. Let's just do it from here then. We will EVA Jeb. We want to get the science out of these two just in case there was anything left. And anything out of the crew module as well. So if there's anything that we can bring home, we want to, science-wise. Let's see if there's nothing in that. Take data. Temperature scans. It doesn't look like there's anything in there unless I'm not in the right position for it. Does not look like there's anything in there. So let's see if we can take anything out of this. Take data. Cool. So all of the data that was in the can there now will come with us, and what we're going to do is actually abandon it, more or less, eventually. So we can bring it back with us, but there's no point for us to... Not all of these are going to work. Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah, so there's no point for us to land with it because it will just burn up. So what we're going to do, and also it's too heavy, what we're going to do is probably just ditch it whenever we get closer to Kerbin's surface. Okay, and welcome back. We are currently on a really, really shallow orbit around the surface of Minmus. We're actually going to speed ourselves up and double check to make sure we don't hit anything. But what we're trying to do is skim by this node here. and pick up the data that it wants for us. And what I'm actually going to do is, just in case, orient myself away from the surface, so that just in case we see a mountain or something that we're going to hit, we will throttle up the engine and just go over it. There we go. Should be past this lake. That's all I know. So it's basically up there on that mountain there, or that ridge there. That's what we're looking for. And we have to be quite shallow for this one. Not, you know, being a bad person or anything. Aha, we are here. We are at the point. We shall take a crew report. Awesome. We have collected the science for it. And I think we just completed the contract. Yes, we did. Cool. So that's everything done with Minmus. Now all we need to do is get home. And how are we going to do that? Not exactly sure. And there we are, burning towards our home. We want to get ourselves in the orbit that I've specified here. We're trying to get to as minimal on the surface as we can. I know I could have done this a lot better, but I didn't feel like it, mostly. So what we'll do is we'll escape Sphere of Influence, so we'll just jump out to that point now. Bloop, 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 bloop. Come on, keep going. We'll escape the Sphere of Influence, and then we'll just do a nice little burn again to bring ourselves within Kerbin's atmosphere. Obviously, not a very efficient way to leave here, but whatever. It worked. We're on the way home. Wow, that is totally different from what it showed me. What's going on? There we go. So let's do maneuver. We will slowly bring in our periaps. It's kind of the point here. There we go. 82, 64, 40. That's perfect for now. Then whenever we get closer to Kerbin, we will burn again to bleed off all the excess speed that we have. And there we have it, guys. We are now back at Kerbin. Goosley and Jeb have been on this trip for over 2 weeks now. And we are quite excited to have them home. They are bringing with them a bunch of science, and there is a bunch of money that was made on this trip, completing all the contracts. So I'm just going to burn now to bleed off a lot of the speed that they've achieved coming back home. As you can tell, I'm bringing in this orbit here so that we can kind of descend as slowly as possible. We don't want them to hit the atmosphere with too much speed now. Oops. Too much speed just means flat Kerbals. And you don't want flat Kerbals. They just don't taste very good. That was a dumb joke, I know. And that should be decent enough. They are within geosynchronous. Sorry, our orbit's within geosynchronous, which means we should have quite a decent time getting ourselves back home. So what I'm going to do is, for the safety of all of these parts, I know those will break off whenever we... Actually, no. These are all going to be jettisoned anyways. We're going to be losing all this stuff, so there's no point to even retract them. We are going to be losing this as well, so we are going to make sure that there's no crew in there. First of all, it's empty, and both of the guys should be in here. Yes, they are. We are going to now jettison the bottom stage. Come on. Jettison the bottom stage, please. There we go. Finally. Jettison the bottom stage there. We're also going to undock from the lander. The lander will find its way back in the atmosphere now. And we are currently on a free float mission back to the surface. So let's get ourselves back to the surface in one piece, hopefully. And here we are on re-entry, guys. I'm hoping that we can bleed off all of our speed here and actually bring our Apple in. I'm not really sure if that's going to happen, since we didn't dip low enough, in my opinion. We might get there. There's a good chance we'll be able to get there with this. So let's go ahead and just hit retrograde there. Hopefully we can get all of our speed bled off. Oh yeah, I think we should be good. We're still descending and we're still losing all of our stuff. We will be ascending in a few seconds though. And there we go. But our Apple will slowly degrade, I'm hoping. If we have to do another pass, we have enough supplies to do so, hopefully. We don't have any electricity, and I'm not really sure why. Not really sure why we're losing it at all. Ah, I had SAS on. That was the reasoning. Okay, I think we will be landing this time. Not sure. Let's wait for the Apple to swing around. Hopefully the Apple ends up being less than the surface or the height of the atmosphere. If not, then we're just going to be landing on the dark side of the planet, which isn't as fun. Oh, I think we are landing. We will be landing now. Cool. We're going to be landing definitely on the dark side. Let's check our heat shield here. We have basically no damage on our heat shield right now. It's taken the brunt very, very nicely. This isn't a very heavy craft or anything. We're definitely landing though, since our periaps is now negative. Okay, now we're slowly descending back to the planet's surface, just about to enter the thicker parts of the atmosphere. That will slow us down even more. It kind of looks like we're set up to land next to the continent, or off the coast of the continent, where the Space Center is. So that's interesting, but our trajectory line will slowly move back, and I'm pretty sure it'll end up in the armpit of what is Africa, I guess. Modern-day Africa. This is quite dark. I do apologize again for like the 500th time. But I really want to look at all the science whenever this is over, and I know you guys like to do re-entries. And I do like to speed them up, but Yes, so there's that armpit there of Africa, current modern-day Africa. There it is. I can't figure out what that is, all honesty. I really can't. Oh, it looks like we're actually going to be crashing off the coast here. So we slowed down quite significantly. And we're going really, really slow. Once I reach a decent height, I will activate the parachutes. Parachutes will deploy automatically at a specific height. I think at... don't know. There it is, 2,300 meters. So they will pre-deploy at 3,000. So oops, something broke. So I just arm them, and they will automatically deploy for me. The icon is turned slightly blue. I can hit the spacebar, or sorry, I can force them to deploy if I wanted to, but there's not really very much of a point. Come on. Let's just get down to that point. Okay. Descending vertically now at 100 meters per second. That's quite fast, only about 3 kilometers off the surface. And there goes the parachutes. Pre-deployed. Nice and great. And then they shall fully deploy. There they go. And now what we're going to do is lose the heat shield. There that goes. that shall crash into the ocean below. And we are descending at a great speed now. Not great meaning large, but acceptable. Okay, getting close to splash. And 3, 2, 1. There we go. We are home. Let's go ahead and recover it. And let's see what we got. I think at least Kerbal Space Center should be in the sun. It's not, of course. So we recovered 307 science just from that pod itself that we had received. Now we have 1,764 science. Fairly little teeny bits of funds, but now we're at 1.3 million funds. And these guys both leveled up to level 2 each. So they are capable of extra stuff now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. That was one of the reasons. Now they are a pilot. Level 2 with a little bit more experience. They can do radial, normal, altitude holds now. So that's awesome. Attitude holds, I meant. So that was an extra stuff that they would have added to their skill set. So, let's take a look at the contracts real fast. We just completed our main, one of the contracts, which was all the visual surveys. A lot of payout, a lot of science, decent amount of reputation. So that was awesome. And these are some of the parameters from it. Visual survey, visual survey. They're all about almost 100 science a piece, which was great. And this was the temperature scans. That was the completed contract there. And about 80 science piece and 32 grand for each time we went. Also, we finished the Explore Minmus one, which gave a nice money payout. And Explore the Minmus by recovering scientific data from the surface. And we also landed on Minmus. So we completed a bunch of stuff. We have a lot of science to spend. I will be spending it off camera and designing our next mission. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. There we go, that's a little bit better. And then we will park ourselves next to it.